Hey guys, so I was going through some old files on my computer, which is always quite interesting given how many years that I've pretty much exclusively used computers. I've been on the internet since I was 9 years old and using computers longer than that, so you can imagine how old some files that I find are. But the one I ran across today isn't nearly as old. It's actually just from, I think, last year, but I had completely forgotten about it. And some of the stuff I find, it just completely epic. And by completely epic, I mean completely epically fucking stupid, like you would not believe. Basically, my sister, the one that I always have on here and shit, she wrote a paper for her English class last year that I, honest to God, thought was a joke. I did not believe she was gonna hand this thing in. Turns out she did. Somehow she didn't fail, and I'm not quite sure how, but basically they had to reimagine a fairy tale and put themselves in it. And hers, I don't know if it's the most ghetto thing I've ever seen, or just the most retarded thing I've ever seen, or what. It's like she didn't put in any fucking effort whatsoever. Not to mention, you don't even get the full scope because you guys aren't seeing all the typos and stuff in here too. This is just having it read to you without those. But I assure you, like, every couple of lines there's misspellings and grammatical errors and just... But how the hell is this girl my sister? I don't even know. But regardless, she decided to rewrite Goldilocks. And I just cannot even. But basically, I've got it right here. I found it. I forgot that I'd asked if I could type it up when she, showed it to me. And she said yes, so I actually still have a copy of this. And I had totally forgotten about it, and I think it made my day, so I'm sharing it with you guys, and she's probably gonna kick my ass as soon as she finds out about this, but oh well. My YouTube channel, my rules, so... Anyway. Goldilocks, my adventure with the 3 bears. I had waited at the movies all day. My friends just weren't going to show up. I was kind of upset, so I went on a walk. Everyone knows I'm never allowed to go places by myself because I get lost soups easily. So, as expected, on my way trying to go home, I ended up in this sketchy forest. There were, all these weirdo cabins with white creeper vans parked outside of them. And not to mention, everyone who lived in this forest was bald. But finally, after walking far enough, I found a very inviting house that had both a pink Volkswagen and a hairbrush outside, so I knew they couldn't be creepy. Until I got inside, they had pictures of bears everywhere. Like, really? What the heck? Why bears? So I tried to ignore all of the weird bear pictures and found 3 chairs. After walking around all day, it was so nice to sit down, except this chair had some kind of problem. It was so hard, I swear that thing had spikes poking into my butt. So I moved into a chair that was next to it, except this one was the opposite extreme. I sunk inside of it, not to mention, or not to complain about something being too soft or anything. It's just that, this chair practically ate me alive into its fluff. After managing to find my way out of that chair, I hesitated to sit in the next one. I honestly just didn't want to hurt myself. This time, it was totes perf. I was so comfy that I smelled food. I was so hungry that even with being that comfortable, I would get up if it meant I could eat. I got to the kitchen only to find my favorite, tacos! Sideways smiley face. Yes, she literally wrote a sideways smiley face in an essay, but beside the point. There were 3, so I took a big bite of one. After getting my hopes up thinking that I was going to have this great taco, it was cold. I think there was ice growing on it or something. So I was like, well, maybe the other one will be better. So I picked up the next taco and instantly dropped it. I hadn't realized it was on fire when I was just looking at it, but I just figured it was going to be too hot. But the last taco was the most delish thing I had ever eaten. I finished it and headed off into the house more to look for a bathroom. Really? You try walking in a forest all day and not going pee. It's not easy. But as I finally found a bathroom, I heard the front door, and then a roar. I freaked and forgot about holding my pee in anymore, but I walked back to the living room and found 3 bears. Oh my god! It was so scary, but at the same time explained so much. Like, at least it didn't end up being some creepy bald guy who has a thing for bears. That's just nasty. But then the bears just kept roaring and roaring as if I spoke bear or something. But I didn't get why they were so mad, so I ate a taco and sat it in your chair. Big deal. But the biggest of the bears picked me up and ate me. Luckily for me, the bear got casted in a Charmin commercial, so not only did I get to live because he pooped me out, but I was in a commercial, sideways smiley. And I lived to tell the tale. This child fucking turned this paper in a freshman English class. I have no words.